Built in 1774 by Nicholas Casey, on land acquired by Lord Fairfax in 1749. WAPPACOMO is a stately Georgian mansion overlooking the south branch of the Potomac River. The term WAPPACOMO is a Native American term given for the river that passes through the farm and is a major tributary of the Grand Potomac River that flows into our nation's capital. An interesting fact entails the brick used in the construction of the mansion. It is documented that the Casey family purchased the ballast brick from ships plying the waters from England to America, and is the oldest structure of its kind this far west into the Appalachians. These bricks were in fact manufactured in England and carted by oxen over the rugged Blue Ridge Mountains from the James River to be constructed at its present location. WAPPACOMO is best known for two controversies related to slavery that demonstrated the legal differences between Virginia and Pennsylvania. Nicholas Casey, the original owner of the plantation, purchased a freed slave who had been captured in 1788 and returned to slavery. The slave's name was John. John had escaped to Pennsylvania but was kidnapped and brought back to Virginia. The governor of Pennsylvania wanted the man responsible to be punished by the Virginia governor, but the Virginia governor refused any intervention. 67 years later, in 1855, a group of slaves escaped WAPPACOMO and crossed into Pennsylvania. Then owner Colonel Isaac Parsons and his nephews went north to look for them. This resulted in his nephews being arrested. The event led to more tensions between Virginia and Pennsylvania, as the former resisted the requirements of the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Today, WAPPACOMO is still in the private hands of the Parsons family, but it is also known as the WAPPACOMO Station for the famous Potomac Eagle excursion train, where sightseers travel through the famous trough to view bald eagles in the wild. I am at a very historic site in the town of Romney, West Virginia. Actually, we're just a little bit outside of Romney, and we are at WAPPACOMO, and I am here with Chad Ashton of the Hampshire History Hunters, and we've just been talking to the owner, getting the backstory on this old house, and there's actually two houses in one. I'm going to turn around slowly so you see it. This house here was built in the 1860s, so it's not as old as the other part of the house you want to see. And there is an interesting story about this part of the house. See this brick? This brick house right here. Now this brick house was built in 1774. And the unique aspect about this brick house here is the brick came from England. This brick was used as ballast in the ships that came into Newport News, Virginia. It was brought here by oxen carts back in the 1770s, and they constructed this house in 1774. So this brick is handmade brick from England, 1774. Now, this part doesn't look as old as the stone part, but it is. And this stone here is all native field stone that came off the mountain right back there. This family that lives here, it's in the same family from the very beginning. The last name is Parsons. They told me I could tell you guys that. It's the Parsons house. And the markings, the corner markings of the property still have Lord Fairfax's mark. And the survey they have is from Lord Fairfax's survey. Lots of history here. Lots of old history here. We're going to go over here in the field because they just plowed it. And it's spring today. I don't know when you guys will see this. Maybe spring next year, maybe fall. But this field is just plowed. We want to go down there with our big coils, and we want to hit that area first before the crops go in. All right, you guys, I am with Mr. Chad Ashton with the Hampshire History Hunters. Now, you don't have a channel yet, right?
No.
He doesn't have a channel yet, but we've done a lot of digs together. And I'm over here on his permission in his territory. I already showed you guys a little introduction of the house. It's very famous, very historical. I'm going to show you real quickly. We kind of walked over here from there, and there's an old cistern over here. Now, we try to figure out, we don't know if there was a house that stood here. Now, Chad has been here before and found a button over here, right?
Correct, just right about where we're standing.
About right where we're standing. There is a cistern hole over there. Now, I'm not going to walk over there, not yet at least, because it's very, very swampy. Yeah. And Chad's got his swamp boots here, so we're ready. All right, I haven't dug a signal yet, but I saw this on the ground. I like it. I like it a lot. It's an old piece of pottery. And I decided to come over here. The old cistern's right over there. You can actually see block, but there's a hole in the ground. There's a big piece of, big thing of water over there. And I'm hoping there is an old homestead right over here. And that's a good sign. I mean, why would it be here in the middle of the field, right? All right, you guys, I already kicked it out. I saw the flint, and I think that's an arrowhead. I think that's what that is. Yes, it is. I'll pull that out so you can see it. Sorry about that. That's an arrowhead. Okay, my first legitimate artifact, I believe, is going to be a round ball. Yeah, I think it's going to be it's an old Pioneer round ball. So, just give you a little lay of the land. I am actually working out through this field. I'm going to try to get out there to that pavilion. It's still about, good gosh, about a half a mile away. And Chadwick, he is right over there. And I think that's the first artifact either of us have found. All right, let's keep going. All right, you guys, I'm just off the house over here in the side yard. I popped a clean plug. And I see a pipe down here. But it moved. And it looked old to me. And it is old. And what is it? It is heavy. Alright, so it looks like this piece went all the way through there. See that? I don't know how old this is. I don't even know what it went to, but it's very, very heavy. You know, we knew it was hit, but this building, this place has got a great story. You can look it up on Wikipedia. It's in there. And on the other side there, I'll show you guys, there were some slave quarters. And there is a story with regard to that. Before the Civil War, one of the slaves escaped here and went up to Pennsylvania. And the owner here got a posse and went up after him and captured him. And the place where the slave went to in Pennsylvania, those people did not like the fact that this guy came up there to get him. But there's probably a lot of these kind of stories back in the mountains like this. But that's one of them. And it's very interesting. And it's, you know, associated with WAPPACOMO right there. That's history. Let's keep going. All right, another piece of big iron, but I see it in here. What is it? I'm hoping it's a hoe. I don't think it is. I don't know. I mean, it could be. Where we are right here was the garden here for the manor house. So I wanted to check this out to see if I couldn't find some big iron artifacts, and so far I found two, but I can't tell what this is from. You can see where it's been broken there. And you can see where there's a lip on it right there. I don't know. It's an artifact. See if there's anything else down there. I don't think so. We're gonna keep going. All right. All right, I see it, but I don't know if it's a file or a knife. It could be. Yeah, I think it's an old rasp file. Yeah, that's what it is, an old rasp file. But man, I tell you what, it's corroded pretty badly. I think that thing's old. Or could it be a piece of a sword? You know, a saber sword. Don't know. Okay. Got a big piece of iron here. It's real heavy. And that's something kind of odd looking, isn't it? Alrighty. I have no idea what that is. Doesn't look like it's off of a wagon. It looks like something went right there, and it's broken. But man, that is heavy. That is very, very, very heavy. How you doing down there, Chadwick? Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
It's been a tough one today. Finding iron. All right, I popped the plug. It's still in there. And I'm hoping that it is a piece of kettle. Oh my. I think it could be, absolutely. Yep. See that? See how that curves down? I think that's a big piece of kettle right there. Whoever detected this before us took all the brass and all the good stuff, and they left us nothing but this. But you know, I set my settings on my detector so I could hear the iron, and I've been digging the iron. You guys have been seeing that because I'm actually going to give it to the owner here, and I think that it is period. It's old, and I think it belongs with the house. And I just love being able to get permissions at these old places, you know, and not all of them are treasurable, but all of them have a story and they have a history behind them. All right, you guys, I pulled the plug, popped it out, and it is a coin, but I don't know if it is a modern coin or if it is an old coin. Oh, I see a Lincoln on there. All right, it is a Wheatie. Well, it's in really good shape. 1950 maybe?
1919.
1919?
That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, definitely 1919.
1919, okay. 1919 Wheatie. That's a great shape. Honestly, I'm happy to find anything in this yard. It's been hit before, and everything we've been finding so far has been pull tabs and pop tops. And this one's in pretty decent shape. All right, you guys, this is the last hole, the last plug. I haven't looked at it. I popped it out of the ground. It's over here. All right, so it's either a coin or it's a button. Right there it is. Is it? What is it? Ah, it is a memorial cent. 1977. 1977. You know, in 1977, I was 7 years old, almost 8. And it was just after the presidential election. I remember it. Gerald Ford and President Jimmy Carter. I believe that was in 76, but the election was in 76. But Carter took over. It was 1977. Guys, we're going to call it the day. We both got appointments we got to make, and so brought everything out, put everything out. And I wanted to tell you guys that there was an old driving range here, a golf course driving range here on the land. And there was a zillion golf balls out there in the field. I didn't pick them up. I saw them. Chadwick picked them up. So, show us what you found, Chad.
The only thing of any couple possible pieces of horse tack.
Yeah, the horse tack. Ring. That we didn't know what it was too. Maybe a chain for logging, or I mean it's really too big for horses. And
golf balls.
This stuff I found a lot of bullets up there.
A bit of crockery.
A little bit of crockery.
That's about
so it was a tough day, wasn't it?
It was.
I'll show you what I found, which isn't a whole lot different than him.
Cool old hinge that came off of this property from
Yep.
the previous time I was here.
Okay, well, here's what I found. I found a lot of iron, a lot of different iron. A lot of it's really heavy iron. And actually, Chad opened that up. Be a nice paperweight, huh?
Oh yeah.
Big heavy thing.
A couple pounds.
Not really sure, yada yada yada. Here's my treasurables. I didn't show you guys this dig. Actually, I probably didn't show you this one or this one or that one. I didn't show a lot of this stuff, but I found it there in the field, and I have no clue what this is. And I was thinking it was a sight to a gun, but don't know. Key, who knows what that's to. That is a grommet. And I found a nickel from 1976, a penny that's 77, a quarter that's 97, a wheat cent from 1919. It's probably the oldest thing we found here.
Yeah.
And I found a bucking ball or pioneer ball. You guys saw me dig that out. Found a nice arrowhead and a bunch of little flint. There was a lot of flint out there. I told Chad, actually I think this might be the end of an arrow right there. And these could be scrapers. I told Chad, I said, Chad, now that he's plowed that, go out there and just walk at it. You'll probably find a lot of arrowheads. That's what I found. Not a lot. Place is great. History's great. Story's great. Chad, I really appreciate the invite.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.